So this right here is the refusal. We call it the refusal. That right there is where it was sent to. As you can see, that's the tracking number right there. I do like to back things up on top of backing things up because, you know, this individual will come out there and say, well, you lied, I never did this, never did that. Even though the evidence is out there really heavily, he'll still come out and make these false accusations that, you know, we just maliciously went out and faked the unboxing. Like we would, this is all fake. And they're like, yeah, all right, buddy, sure on that one. But anyway, if you feel that's fake, how about you just, bottom line is just take me to court on it. That's all you got to do. But this actually is the box right here. So you can see right there, this is where it was sent to. And that's the tracking number right there. You can check it for yourself. It's legit. United States Postal Service tracking. I heard you starting some dumb rumor, making some statement that we just did a fake unboxing and it never went anywhere. Buddy, how dumb can you be? How dumb can you be? Come on, man. How dumb can you be? Right there. Right there. Right there. Everyone saw me pack up the box. Everyone saw me ship it out. And that's how Jamie is. Jamie, like I said, he's not, I don't know what's wrong with him. But he thinks any little idea that comes in his head, he thinks, ooh, people are going to believe all this. No, buddy, we back everything up. This is a problem you're going to have in the courtroom. You can't back anything up. We can. This was shipped to your address. There's the tracking number right there. Right there. There's written on the box, refusal. I don't do that whole silent wait nonsense at the end of the day. We're not about that. So, yeah, this is legit. And everybody saw me package this thing up and send it right out. So there you go, right there. And you can check the tracking number for yourself. I like to back things up on top of backing things up because that's what I do. All right, then. There we go. So that puts an end to that dumb nonsense. I'm going to leave that there right there while I take care of some business. You guys can take that in. And there's a tracking number right there. You want to go do your own investigation. You know, but it is what it is. He basically refused the item. And that's this product right there. So for those you don't know me yet, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is ILEC, Infusion Light Energy Gain Technology Screens. And that's why that paint we have done there is going to have a lot of fun with this. Because this was refused by the owner himself. Now, if you saw something called the Black and White Paint Challenge, Crow1176 Black and White Paint Challenge, you'll see this Metallica Mix 2.0 being made by him in his apartment. And this is something he used to give away for free to his customers a long time ago, but then started selling it. The problem was that the free mixes were exactly the same as the ones he was selling. He was trying to make them look like something they were completely different, you know, high power projectors, dark environments, tricking his customers that each one of those paints did something different. They didn't do any different. They all did the same thing. We literally on camera made this stuff and put it against the personal mix, which I paid for versus free, and it did the exact same thing. We had the Cinemax down there. It matched. We had the Hybrid. It matched. We had all of them. They all matched. And then, mind you, this is a person who got on camera and ranted about how we used labels and made his Cinemax that we got from a customer who was disgusted with the simple fact he sent us black paint after we paid for something, which is post office fraud charges, by the way. And we're going to court for that too also. But anyway, and after all that, we matched it against the Network Grade 773, and he ranted like, oh, my product would never do that, never do that. And what happened? He matched it on camera and removed the videos in a live stream, which we all got it all on recording. So he's known for doing this kind of stuff. He backpedals and does all kinds of weird stuff at the end of the day. But anyway, long story short, just in case, and we know he does, come there and say, hey, that's a fake unboxing. Dude, everybody has the tracking numbers. That's why we posted the tracking numbers for everybody to have them. Everybody saw me make the product. Everything was done out in the open. And there it is right there. There's a package right there with the tracking number that anyone can go in and check right now, showing it came to your apartment and you refused it. You refused your own item. Now, you think about all the customers who bought that stuff, who really thought that stuff was going to help them out. And that's what they end up with. The owner himself can't even back his own products. There's no way in the world anyone's going to buy something from somebody if the owner can't back it up. And that's what that whole we stand behind our product motto comes from. We stand behind our product. We stand behind our product. Now, I deliberately left the open chat open. Because again, like I said, He comes in, he gets angry. He's a very, very emotional person. He'll come and get angry. He'll rant. He'll carry on. He has other people support that scam nonsense he was doing. Oh, by the way, we did find out that other people were supporting that nonsense he was doing. So, mind you, since he is being charged for multiple mass scam, you will be a part of that. So, if any of your YouTube channel had anything to do with what he was doing, you're going to be pulled into that nonsense too, because it shows that you carried on that nonsense knowing what those products were. So guess what? You'll be charged also. So yeah, people that were coming to the channel posting upset, yeah, all that stuff was logged. Dummies. She was Louise. I swear. These are the kind of people that show up. The FBI sends out a list for people for a free boat. And these people are the ones that will basically come in for the free boat and get arrested. You supported that nonsense. You supported a paint that the person who basically made it couldn't even support himself. So you knew this stuff was a major scam, and you continue to go on and do these fake unboxing videos for him, making it look like his product was actually working, while he was ripping off other people. So yeah, you're going to be charged for that, and they have to pay restitution. Guess what? That's going to come out of your freaking banking account at the end of the day. You're going to have to pay back all those people because you were a part of that nonsense, including any fines and penalties that are going to pop up for this nonsense. Just to let you know, mass consumer fraud is 30 years in jail. So that's what you have looking for it. So if you were on there posting, carrying on, making statements that his product was working and you stood behind it 100%, and guess what? Why do you think I kept asking you questions like you stand behind this 100%? And you guys kept saying yes. There you go. Now I got your testimony of you in the live stream saying that you stood behind the product 100%. Dumb. See? Think you're smart, don't you? But there it is right there. There's a refusal. Check the tracking number yourself. It would send it back. I don't know why you would send something back if you claimed it worked. Or any customer, or anybody, no one's buying that stuff. No one's bought that stuff in a while, because I went there and did the check myself to see exactly if anyone did purchase that stuff after the Network Grade 773 fiasco, and no one's purchasing any of that stuff. So those of you sitting up there with a big gray spot on your wall, that's his product at the end of the day? Yeah, shame. You got ripped off. Mind you, as I told you before, we made that paint for $15, and that's with the Metallica. And 15 bucks out of that, $11 for a gallon, and the hobby paints at $1.50. I ended up with 64 ounces. 64 ounces out of the black paint we had. 64 ounces of paint. 2 quarts. When you got 1 quart for $90, $85, and $65. That is a ripoff. And they all do the same thing. So anybody sitting there saying, well, I got the Cinemax, well, I got the Hybrid, Personal, you all got the same paint. They're all the same. A couple of shades of black here and there and a little tint different doesn't do jack at the end of the day. It's still the same thing. He didn't put any silver in it. All he did was put in no silver. There was no silver in any of his stuff. It was just basically what he put in there was just glitter. He went over to freaking Lowe's and picked up that high glitter and put that stuff into it. That's what you had in there. That's what we saw in the paint. We popped the top. I was like, oh, I know what this stuff is. This is a freaking glitter at freaking Lowe's. Yeah, that's what you got. Man, I'll enjoy the label just a little bit more because I'm just taking care of some stuff real quick. You can check out that label right there. Now, if he wants to get mad at the end of the day and say, hey, you know, he got my address, dude. Your address is public domain. I can't go this enough. Let me dig you up real quick. I will for the video. See the address we have here, right there? That's his business address. That's the way we have it down. It's Crow Cinematic Mix LLC, even though the LC is delinquent. Let's show you, because he'll go in and cry about that. So we'll throw about stuff in the day. Where's my mouse at? I'm going to go over and pull your LLC up. So, you know, if he sits there and cries and says, oh, he doxed me, you know, I'm going to sue him. Yeah, okay, sure about that one. Let me see. Let's go pull up California. There it goes, pops right up. There we go. First top one at the top right there. Click on that one. Take you down to the bottom. Put in the same thing we wrote. We have there, which is Crow Cinemax Mix LLC. Crow Cinemax Mix LLC. Okay? Right there. Same there you see there. Jamie, I'm very thorough about these things. So you know when we get to court, I'm going to crush you, right? There we go. All right, see right there? Crows Cinemax Mix LLC. What does it say on the box? Crows Cinemax Mix LLC. Correctly. Same way, right? All right, cool. Let's go click on here. Oh, sorry, we got to hit the enter. Enter pops up. There we go, right there at the bottom. Click on that. And let's see what it says right here. There you go. Crows Cinemax Mix LLC. Right there, see? There's your address right there. There's showing that you are on California State, Secretary of State, which means your LLC and your address and everything is public domain. Anyone can find it. Anyone can find it. So that means we wouldn't have doxed your address. That'd be virtually impossible if you made it so that your address would be public domain and anyone could find it. On top of that, shows you actually are missing a very important filing, because statement due date, which has been missing since 2023. All right then. All right then. There you go. See? Clean all that up right there, just in case, because he's a sneaky little guy at the end of the day. He'll come in and make some false statements like, no, I didn't give him permission and blah, 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 blah. It's right there. Anyone can pull it up. Your address is right there. Same right here. Same thing. So you made your address public domain so everybody can find you. So if you scream and yell at anybody, or he threatens anybody, or anybody at the end of the day saying that because you posted his address that you have basically put him in a bad situation, he put himself in a bad situation. He ripped a whole lot of people off, put himself in a bad situation. At that, bottom line at the end of the day, buddy, you're not documented. So that's another problem you have right there. And you ripped a lot of people off. Now I wouldn't advise anyone to go in and basically do that because of that. No, don't do that. Don't do that because of that. Because that makes you just as evil as he is. You don't want to be that type of person that he is. But at the end of the day, man, you have put yourself out there. I'm pretty sure that landlord told you at the end of the day when you got to that building, don't do anything stupid. I'm pretty sure he told you that. Keep a low profile. Man, you did everything under the sun. I mean, you might have put a billboard over top of your freaking building saying, hey, this is me. I'm right here with an arrow connected that lights up. Can't get any more than that. And then you commit a perjury on LLC, which I know they're contacting your building constantly. I know they're sending you letters out there. And there's only a matter of time for they dig it up. Gee whiz Louise. This guy. I never get mad. Mind you, when we found the address the first time, because he was using 317 Kern Street, he was using, I think his brother, it was family members or something, he was using their address to commit crimes. Because law documents went to that address. So we know that we got to document it right there. And also, too, when you bring up that number right there, your white pages popped up, and we saw 317 Kern, which I have it all recorded, showing it popping up in the white pages next to your address and some other people in there that had to be family members. So, with that being said, you abused one of your family members' addresses. That's what we're receiving on our packages over here. So, we're not over at the other place I was at. So with that being said, when we found the address, he must have did something dirty to a customer because they got mad. And the images they were showing on Facebook, their pictures were ugly. I mean, they were dirty, they were dingy. The guy was very upset, and he posted his address. I was like, wait a minute, that's his real address? So when we saw the address, we did it on YouTube. We said, is this address? I'm looking at it. He went into a rant like crazy. I was like, oh, that must be his address. You told on yourself. You're very emotional. That's what we do. We don't have to say much. Just say, hey, look, this is what we found. Which is not doxing. We just found this address. You could have sat there and said it's not mine, and it would have been yours. But you went into a rant and said you're going to sue me, so it was yours. There you go, told on yourself. Then he sent us this email telling me, I'm going to sue you for doxing me and blah, 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 for putting my address out there and so and so and so. Isn't that interesting, the person who doxes other people's addresses on his website? But keep in mind, you doxed your own address. Because when you filed for the LLC, you made it public domain. That's why your stuff is everywhere. See? See how you do this? You do this all the time, Jamie. Like when you sat there and said that we made your Cinemax mix. Remember that nonsense? You went ranting about we made it, we copied the label, blah, blah, blah. You would never match house paint. You made this speech before you did the demonstration when you showed up to can the receipt. I would never match house paint. And what'd you do? You match house paint. But the funny part about it is you did that years ago with the personal mix. You match the bare silver screen. And then turn around and did it again in this video. And then we watch you in a live stream remove the video. That doesn't sound like a person who basically beat something at the end of the day after removing it. All right, then there you go. You're gonna say the same for me, buddy. I remove videos when I'm not happy with what I said in the videos. Like, I feel like at the end of the day, I have to do something productive with my time. So that's why you'll see me say something like this and then go do a bunch of videos of me outside pulling up in sunlight because I have to do something productive with my day. I can't spend my day doing what you do at the end of the day. I would be depressed all day long. I'm going to hang myself. So I can't do that. I have to do something productive. Like, you know, finishing my search engine optimizer was a freaking pain in the neck. And it's funny because I was walking down the street and I'm thinking, man, I'm glad I never had to do that again. And I realized I have a second website. Like, oh, God, I got to do that again. So I got to go do that one. But anyway, I try to do something productive in my day. If I haven't done anything productive in my day and that's the only thing I have, I got to get rid of it because it makes me depressed. I'm a person that always has to evolve, always do new things, learn new things. You can, because you don't allow yourself to do so. Because you're so crippled by hatred, that's why. People that are crippled by hatred don't do anything with their lives. They just dig bigger holes for themselves, that's what they do. And eventually, you dig enough of those holes, some of that dirt's going to fall on top of you and you're going to bury yourself in, and that's what happens. Because I did it already, remember? The whole nonsense with following the devil and losing 8 years and 9 months of my life. That's what I did. I dug a big enough hole to bury myself in. The good thing about it is that the Lord gave me a shovel to get myself out of it. And this guy in the day is refusing the shovel. Like, he's going in deeper and deeper and deeper. I'm like, here, you might want to take this shovel to dig yourself back. I'm like, no, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. And get all the way down into the very bottom. That shovel is going to snap on you. And that's going to be sitting there smiling from ear to ear. And Jamie don't see it. Jamie is being set up. He don't see it. The devil's setting him up every single day. And he's so enraged by anger. That's it. Now, you can say I did this to be nasty. No, Jamie. I do this to back myself up because I don't basically go on camera and say something that's not true because it can get you sued. I'm suing you for that same dumb thing that you just did, right? All right. So, even though I showed the unboxing, let me show the packaging of it all. Even though I showed me, sorry, making the product, all right? I showed everything. I even came back in and showed the additional labels that we put on it so that way the box doesn't look different in the video. Because if we send it to you and you say, hey, look, these labels weren't on here when you showed it in the video, we cover all that. I did another video showing, hey, we have to put additional labels on here so that way you can't come in and say things. Because you're sneaky in the visual and we know you. You do very sneaky stuff. We don't give you any options out of a situation. Remember the whole mason jar theory? That's how we have to treat you. We have to stick you in a mason jar and close the top. Don't give you no air holes, nothing. Don't give you any way to get out and then whatsoever, because you will find some way to weasel out of something. So we lock you in a situation. So, with that being said, I came back in here and did this video because even though we did all that evidence, you're dumb enough to still come in and say, hey, he did a fake unboxing because I would have never refused something like that, blah, 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 blah. Well, here's the box, Skippy. And if you sit there and say that I doxed your address, there's your address right there at the California Secretary of State showing that you went in and made an LLC, which is now delinquent, and you went in and posted your old address for everybody to see. So, no, we didn't dox you in any way whatsoever. There's a tracking number right there showing at the end of the day that it's legit and it's real. All right, then. That's basically about it. I like to cover stuff. Even when I've already backed myself up, I'll back myself up again. Jamie, you have to understand, if I'm this thorough on doing my business this way, what happens when you walk into a courtroom with me? What happens to the evidence that I've dug up on you? That's how bad it's going to get in there. You're going to wish, my man, you can actually evolve and sprout wings and just fly through. Maybe you can just become invisible. You're going to close your eyes so tight that you're going to think that maybe I will become invisible when they can't see me. But you're going to open up and we all are going to be to see you. You're going to be outed for the liar that you are. You have been lying to people for God knows how long. If you've been doing this kind of vicious behavior on YouTube, I couldn't imagine the stuff you do off camera. Time has caught up to you. It's time now to face the music. So all that you've done in life is now catching up to you. And if you don't get your act together and get yourself saved at the end of the day, all sins that you committed on this earth will be written in the book of life. And in the next life, you will suffer forever. So get it together, man. Till then, I got to do what I got to do. All right, people, we're done. Got work to do. God bless.